So, with nearly 50 films, 25 television projects, an opera, an oratorio, and a musical behind her, and we hope decades of even more music in front of her, tonight we present the 2010 Richard Kirk Award for Career Achievement to Rachel Portman.
Thank you so much. I'm really overwhelmed by all of this. I really wasn't expecting it. I just want to say a few words. Many years ago, when I was in my teens, I was taken out of my all-girls English boarding school when my mum discovered that my musical education was in the hands of a deaf old choir mistress. And I was sent as the first girl to an all-boys school, you can imagine, in the countryside where the music was fantastic and the food was terrible. It was full of traditions. You called them masters, i.e. the teachers, beaks, goodness knows why. And one of the traditions was a 50-mile march, which happened every summer. You rubbed your feet with surgical spirit for a few days before, then set out at dawn, about 4 a.m. And the walk involved 2 circuits of 25 miles on the surrounding countryside lanes, with a break halfway through, where they served you more horrible English public school food. It was a kind of endurance test, and not many people survived it. So I went on this walk, and the first 25 miles were fine, apart from the odd blister. And lots of people expired after that, but I carried on, and as the daylight began to fade in the last few miles of the walk, and our feet were like jelly, and there were beaks passing by as those of us left limped forward slowly, opening their car doors, tempting us to give up and get into the car before we collapsed, I thought, I'm going to get to the end of this if it kills me. And in the end, I managed the whole 50 miles. And I was the first girl in the history of the school to complete the march. And which was fine, but it was the first time I had been first at anything. And thanks to BMI, it's happening again tonight. I looked through the list of very distinguished composers who've been honoured with the Richard Kirk Award, and I find I'm the first woman, and I hope I'll be the first of many. Although when I'm writing, I never think of myself as a woman composer, I do feel perhaps too many women miss out on this wonderful job. When I was starting out, in order to warn me of the dangers lying ahead, Alan Parker sent me a cartoon. I have it here, but I don't think anyone's going to be able to see it. This is the cartoon he sent me. I'll have to read out what it says, it's too small, but it's a cartoon of a director standing over a depressed editor slumped over an old Steinbeck. And the director says, "Frankly, Seth, the movie is an hour too long. The performances stink. And the story falls apart after 5 minutes. So we have no choice. We have to redo the music." In spite of these dangers, I feel I have been incredibly lucky so far. I know all of you know this, but writing music is quite simply the best job to have on a film. Forget the boring slow shoot and the never-ending edit. We composers get to come in at the end and add a layer of emotion and energy that, if you don't screw it up, can literally transform a movie. I have been fortunate enough to work with some incredible directors, including the wonderful Michael Susi, who is here tonight, with whom I worked recently on Grey Gardens, which you saw some of. I'm extremely touched to be given this, but I do have to say I only decided to accept it when Doreen promised it wasn't one of those you give to people in the twilight of their years. So thank you, BMI, and thank you for giving it to me while I'm still able to get to the stage. Thank you.
Congratulations, Rachel.